Hello, Internet. Welcome to day 39 of 365. Today is the day in the life of a relic, an ancient old relic. That is I. Today was Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know who won. I don't know any of the commercials. It's bad. I mean, I was never a big football person. I think that one of the consequences of moving around and not having an identity tied to a specific location, like sports was always kind of hard for me. Like I lived in Chicago during the height of Bulls with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and like that era under Phil Jackson, and I was like, I think that was the closest I got to following a sport. But then I moved, and I kept moving, and I don't know. And then even then, I never associated like myself with a sport. Baseball, I tried. Football, and this is not fair to the team, but I lived in Michigan for a while, and the NFL team was the Lions, and I was like, the Lions haven't had a really good track record. They have had seasons, and I think it's hard to become a fan of a sport if you don't have like a tie. Whether it's a team that does amazing, like has been historically amazing, that's kind of easy to like jump into, right? You're like, oh wow, I live here. This is my team. I start winning. But let's say you've had a historically bad team, and like, but in the neighborhood you're fun. I think that is what ties it when you just grow up and your team is like kind of sucks, but it's okay. Everyone yells at the TV together and everyone becomes experts together. I never had that, good or bad. I just like there's nothing that tied me to it. And so I think all my life I would watch Super Bowl very tangentially. And then in like past few Super Bowls, it's like not even tangentially. It's like, do I just watch it for the Super Bowl halftime? And even that, I was like, I'll just watch it the next morning when it's on YouTube, cause attitude. Um, yeah, even the commercials. It's ridiculous how expensive commercials are now. I would love to create a Super Bowl commercial though. I think that's like there's something about Super Bowl commercials because they're so expensive that you have to tell a story, an epic story in 30 seconds. Which I think is such a cool creative challenge. But yeah, I didn't watch it. I I don't know. Everything is so controversial now. Like we can't even like enjoy anything because anything is gonna be stirred in some kind of controversy. Like who was it? When was it? Oh, I don't even remember when it was, but I think even up until the whole Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake thing, that became infamous after. Before then, everyone was excited for whoever was performing. Sort of unequal measure. Like, you were or you weren't. People felt old because, there's like this classic feeling now. Um, but now it's like, yeah, it's a lot of like, I think everything deserves a certain amount of hype, but sometimes it's like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. This is the consequence of moving around a lot. You're not tied to anything. Even like the World Cup, whenever I watch it, um, I don't know enough of like the players or the team or I mean, I know enough of the sport to like be able to watch a game, but nothing ties me to it. Sports are, I get it. I understand the value of sports. I like sports. And take me to a game, I'll cheer like crazy. But it just, I don't know. My identity is never with sports. Um, do I want any of the kiddos in my family to do sports? Partially. Although I have No, you know what? No. No judgment. They're too young. If they continue to play, they'll play. And then I'll become the crazy cheering auntie at that point. Auntie? Auntie? Do I say aunt? I say aunt, but then I think I've just gotten used to saying auntie because that's what the kids say. Um, what else? Oh, yeah. Why am I a relic? I just rambled about the Super Bowl for 5 minutes, griping about back in my day. Um, discovered kids today who didn't know DMX. I am the most sheltered Asian girl, but I know my hip hop or the 90s, 2000s hip hop. I grew up with that. It's like MTV, man. And when someone's like, DMX, who's DMX? I was like, no, stop. Stop. And I mean, when he passed, which I believe he passed, I actually genuinely was like, oh man, like, sad. When celebrities died, like, I think, aside from, in my mind, in my history, I remember when Princess Diana died. I was 12. Yeah, I think it was 12. And even I remember that was just sad. It was like globally sad. Because I liked Princess Diana. I think Princess Diana, for every girl of that specific generation, you just genuinely wanted to be a princess because we didn't know that was going on behind the scenes. Like, but she represented to me what it meant to be a princess in real life. And yeah, I was sad. I was 12. I was sad. And then as I grew older and as celebrities died and actors died, like some were like fleeting moments of sadness, but then some were like genuinely devastating. Um, I remember being really sad when Alan Rickman died. And there were others. I'm not going to go into all of the list, but I don't know. There's something about, yeah. Oh, list of actors. And I was like, oh man, I can remember a lot. Again, why am I am a relic? I think, yeah, I think one thing I appreciate about my generation is I lived in a time before, like, when there was still, before the floodgates fully opened, like, before we were so inundated with, like, culture pouring out of every orifice. It's a gross word, but I like the word. Like, and so now to become relevant, to become, it's a flash in the pan. I like that expression. And nothing like stays. Yeah. I think it'd be cool to see things that like last the test of time. Not that you have to be controversy free, but because I think there's a certain degree where you should challenge ideas of society. And if you are a celebrity and you have that privilege and you have that platform, really know what you're standing for, because if you are going to make the political statement in an award show, contrary to what Ricky Gervais said, it's like, but make sure you know what you're standing for. You are a celebrity. You have that platform. Do it. Um, I would, with the caveat being, when you make that platform and you choose to be more of an activist or more of a, I'm going to use my platform not just to thank people for getting me here, but saying like, I care about this, and I say this with the backing of my studio, backing of everyone who sacrificed for me to get here, because you really shouldn't say anything without understanding the price of your words. Yeah, why not? Why not stand for something? And why not? Because there is a risk of public scrutiny. Everything is publicly scrutinized. I am nobody. I am absolutely nobody. But I'm sharing public secrets, secret thoughts, secret emotions very publicly, aware that one day someone might find this, someone might see this, and skewer me mercilessly. I'm aware of that. That is the world we live in. But am I going to continue this? Yes. One, despite the time, because I said I'd do this for a year, regretting it constantly, but also kind of enjoying this. Um, and then, yeah, it just tracks a year. I don't remember things well. One day I will cringe so hard as I relive my year, but I think it'd be kind of cool. It'd be really cool. A year from now, I have this record of what 2026 was. Because there are certain like themes that 1 month in, I'm like, wow, how cool would it be because I'm tracking this almost like a diary, which I could write and keep to myself. Well, how cool would it be? A year from now, 5 years from now, I look back and I can um, just note the changes, note the thoughts, and if I remember it, cool. If I don't, I don't. Anyway, it is getting super late. I did nap. Sunday naps are the best. Maybe I should have called it that. I do like naps on Sundays, and it was very, very cold. Um, so it was nice because it was like freezing, but there was sun. So like if you were in the right place, it was perfect nap conditions because you felt both sensations at the same time. Anyway, yeah, I'm a relic. I'm ancient. Dust is everywhere, which is why I feel like I kind of have to sneeze. But don't be downtrodden by the time has passed. Be uplifted that there's still ways to go. Okay, that is my nonsensical thought. Good night.